This is News Today with Disneyland News Today. I'm Arlo with WWNT.com, and here now are the top Disneyland Resort stories for June 12th, 2025. The dates and prices for Oogie Boogie Bash 2025 at Disney California Adventure have been revealed. Mark your calendars. Tickets for Oogie Boogie Bash go on sale to the general public on June 26, 2025, no earlier than 9 a.m. Pacific Time. Pre-sale tickets will be available for Magic Key holders no earlier than 9 a.m. Pacific Time on Disneyland.com beginning on the following dates. Inspire Magic Key holders with a limited amount of tickets for pre-sale on June 24th, 2025, and all Magic Key holders, again with a limited amount of tickets for pre-sale on June 25th, 2025. Admission to the After Hours event also includes entry to Disney California Adventure Park 3 hours before the party begins and unlimited Disney PhotoPass digital downloads for the party. Tickets for the 2025 season range between $139 and $199 on 31 select dates between Sunday, August 17th and Friday, October 31st, Halloween night. The most party dates Disney has ever offered in the history of not only just Oogie Boogie Bash, but also any other Halloween parties Disneyland has offered in the past, including the defunct Mickey's Halloween Party at Disneyland and the long-extinct Mickey's Halloween Treat at Disney California Adventure. Leave a comment down below if anyone actually remembers Mickey's Halloween Treat. It's definitely a bit of a deep cut for Disneyland locals, but it's one of those offerings that a lot of people seem to remember quite fondly. So yeah, leave a comment if you remember that. Just genuinely curious. Of course, Oogie Boogie Bash will continue to host many guest favorite activities this year, including trick-or-treating around the park, along designated treat trails, exclusive rare character meet and greets, the Villains Grove walkthrough experience, and my personal favorite, the frightfully fun Halloween Parade, which will run twice nightly from Pixar Pier down to Hollywoodland. Disneyland Resort has confirmed more details for Halloween Time 2025 and shared a first look at new costumes for Mickey and Minnie. Halloween Time begins on August 22nd and runs through October 31st. Their new outfits are purple and bright green with orange and black accents. Mickey has a pointed hat and robe, while Minnie has a ruffled dress. She's also wearing tennis shoes instead of her regular heels. At Disneyland Park, several returning Halloween offerings were confirmed. Haunted Mansion Holiday, the popular Nightmare Before Christmas overlay of the iconic attraction, will be back starting on August 22nd, 2025, and running through January 7th of 2026. At night, Halloween Screams, a villainous surprise in the skies, will return once again to take over Sleeping Beauty Castle. On select nights, the beloved 2009 Nighttime Spectacular will feature fireworks, typically Friday through Sunday and on holidays, because God forbid Disneyland runs fireworks 7 days a week for all paying guests anytime other than Christmas and summer every year. Bit of my personal beef getting in there anyway. Moving on. Over at Disney California Adventure, Halloween returns to Cars Land with punny decor and 2 ride overlays. Luigi's Honkin' Halloween and Mater's Graveyard Jamboree. Monsters After Dark will return at Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, and Mickey's Trick or Treat will temporarily take over Disney Junior Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Live at the Disney Theater in Hollywoodland. The Plaza de la Familia featuring Coco will return from August 22nd through November 2nd. Storytellers of Plaza de la Familia celebrate the musical world of Coco. The new version of the Dia de los Muertos show, the Coco show, which debuted last year, will also return. A new Coco merchandise collection will also debut in September. Specialty food and beverages will be available, including the returning Oogie Boogie Lemonade and the new Jalapeno Cream Cheese Bread around the park. New merchandise will be available, including the new Mickey Mouse Family Halloween collection, which we're showing pictures of on screen right now. More collections will be released as well and will be found in the World of Disney in Downtown Disney, Elias & Company at Disney California Adventure Park, and the Emporium on Main Street, USA in Disneyland. Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit, the scavenger hunt activity where guests can purchase a map and receive a prize, will also return. It will be available this year starting on August 29th and run through October 31st. Characters will be in their Halloween attire across the Disneyland Resort hotels. You can meet them at Goofy's Kitchen, Celebrates Halloween at Disneyland Hotel, and at Mickey's Autumn Adventures at Storytellers Cafe at the Grand Californian. Overnight guests at the 3 on-site hotels can enjoy special perks such as treat trails on select afternoons and the option to purchase a Halloween-themed in-room celebration, which includes festively themed gift baskets and decorations. For the first time, Broken Spell Lounge at the Disneyland Hotel will feature a cocktail menu themed to the Disney villains. At Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, guests can watch pumpkin carvers turn gourds into a masterpiece, feast their eyes on a confectionery display in the lobby, and treat themselves to a Halloween-inspired treatment at the Tenia Stone Spa. Imagineer Kim Irvine is retiring from the Walt Disney Company after 55 years, Mice Chat reports. Irvine is a living legacy of an Imagineer. Her parents were Disney animators Harvey and Leota Toombs, and her father-in-law was Dick Irvine, the first executive VP and COO of WED Enterprises, now Walt Disney Imagineering. Leota herself became an Imagineer and was the namesake and focus of Madame Leota on the Haunted Mansion and voiced Little Leota at the end of the ride. Eleanor Audley voiced the main Madame Leota. Kim Irvine stepped into her mother's shoes to provide the face model for Madame Leota in Haunted Mansion Holiday. She also had a cameo appearance as a maid in Muppets Haunted Mansion. Irvine has been an Imagineer since 1970, currently acting as an executive creative director and director of concept design. Her projects include updating Rivers of America scenes, adding Disney characters to It's a Small World, working on the reimagining of the Jungle Cruise, and the recent updates to Disneyland's Haunted Mansion. Both performances of Fantasmic at Disneyland for June 4th were canceled without explanation. The showtimes were removed from the Disneyland app as well as the official website around 6 p.m., but an official announcement notifying guests of the cancellation did not play in the park until after 8 p.m. There were no signs of inclement weather in the Anaheim area on Wednesday, June 4th, which is the most common cause of entertainment cancellations at the Disneyland Resort. This is certainly a bit of a mystery, but the show returned as normal on June 5th. You can watch our video of Fantasmic at Disneyland right here on our YouTube channel. A recent update to the Disneyland Resort website allows guests more flexibility and control when searching for dining reservations. The Disneyland official website is debuting a new feature to make it easier for guests to find and make dining reservations. The main dining has a new banner advertising the added tools, which will be rolling out over the next few days. Scott Gustin on X has shared the first picture of the new tools as they are being rolled out slowly and are not yet visible on browsers or apps. Image courtesy of Scott Gustin via X. First, Disney has chosen to replicate the current theme park reservation calendar layout to create a new dining availability calendar. When clicking on the page for an individual restaurant, guests can look at a whole month to see when reservations are available on specific days. If a restaurant has availability, a green dot will appear on that date. Otherwise, a gray dot will appear on dates with no availability. This new calendar makes it easier for guests to find dates regarding harder-to-get reservations by looking at several weeks at a time. A second change is the addition of a time slider bar for seeking specific reservation times. The websites previously used buttons with certain hours grouped together. This new slider allows guests to drag the length of time for their search to a specific period instead of using the pre-selected buttons. This makes it easier to slot dining reservations between other activities by searching for a custom time frame. Again, image courtesy of Scott Gustin via X. As one more update, the date range selection feature has been updated to now allow the selection of multiple restaurants. Previously, guests could only use the date range feature to search for open reservations on up to 10 consecutive days, but the range only worked for a single restaurant. The website now allows guests to use the same multiple range for the general search, and all restaurants with availability over multiple days will appear. One other small update is the streamlined system for choosing locations. The buttons for each park and category have been streamlined, making each selection a bit easier to navigate than the previous list. This is the first major update to the dining reservation system since March of 2024. Whether you'll be there or not, you can proclaim you visited Disneyland on the park's 70th anniversary date with a new Magic Key exclusive I Was There shirt. Oh boy. The tee is available at Disneyana and Disneyland Park. It's white with a blue neck and blue cuffs. I Was There in black lettering across a blue and pink version of the Disneyland D logo on the left chest. Mickey is printed on the back in his 70th anniversary costume against a blue background and white and pink circles. Gold stars surround the anniversary date, July 17th, 2025, which is printed in purple above Mickey. Below is the 70th anniversary logo featuring the number and gold castle turrets, plus the Magic Key and Disneyland Resort word marks also in gold. There is a limit of 2 tees per Magic Key holder. The shirt is $34.99 plus tax. Magic Key holders must present their valid Magic Key and government ID to purchase. The Magic Key merchandise discount does apply. Disneyland Park opened on July 17, 1955, but the 70th anniversary celebration kicked off on May 16, 2025, and will run through the summer of 2026. The Disney Parks blog has released the full list of food and beverage that will be available for Disneyland After Dark Pride Night 2025. Disneyland After Dark Pride Night is a separately ticketed event after hours held at Disneyland Park on June 16th and 18th, 2025. Tickets are still available at the time of this recording for $169 each. There are a number of new and returning food items both at quick service and table service venues around the park, but highlights include a Monte Cristo pizza from Cafe Orleans with turkey, ham, and Swiss cheese on puff pastry with seasonal jam, a cereal milk cold brew from the Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor, which is a cereal flavored cold brew topped with vanilla foam and fruit flavored cereal, And the item I personally am most excited for, the Golden Girls Cheesecake, available from the Jolly Holiday Bakery, which is New York-style cheesecake topped with a chantilly cream and chocolate decoration piece. This is the first time ever a reference to the legendary TV show has appeared in the parks. The popular sitcom, which ran from 1985 to 1992, garnered a strong fan base in the LGBTQIA+ community due to its portrayal of strong independent women, positive representation of LGBTQ characters years ahead of its time, and exploration of themes such as coming out and same-sex marriage. All 7 seasons of the show were added to Disney Plus in July of 2021. We have a full list of all the food and merchandise coming to Disneyland After Dark Pride Night, as well as all the seasonal food and novelties coming to the resort in general in celebration of Pride Month, aside from the event, on our website at wwnt.com. Arribas Brothers has crafted a new series of jewelry and other collectibles for the Disneyland 70th Anniversary celebration. These items are available at the Crystal Arts shop on Main Street, USA in Disneyland. Items include a tiara necklace for $89, a 70th logo necklace for $95, a Mickey necklace for $85, a 70th logo ring for $39, and a pair of dangling 70th logo earrings for $75. A decorated castle jewelry box is also available for $125. Other items beside the jewelry pieces in the collection include a stained glass plate for $39 and a pair of ornaments, both for $29, featuring Mickey and Sleeping Beauty Castle, respectively. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsors, Be Our Guest Vacation. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest Vacations and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free! Head over to beourguestvacations.com/WWNT and their team will design your next magical vacation. From Disneyland and the Walt Disney World resorts to the Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. In a recent video, MrBeast, along with his fiancée, Thea Boysen, explored different date ideas ranging from a $1 to $500,000 date at the Disneyland resort. To begin the series, MrBeast, Jimmy Donaldson, takes Thea on a $1 Ferris wheel at a small carnival-style theme park. Taking the jump to a $10,000 date, the pair enjoys a multi-course meal prepared by Chef Gordon Ramsay. After this, several members of the MrBeast team join them on a $50,000 private island date with jet skiing, couples massages, and more. Moving to the first theme park date, the group travels to the American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The venue contains a Nickelodeon Universe theme park, DreamWorks water park, and Big Snow indoor ski slope. The $250,000 date was for MrBeast's pal Nolan and included a surprise appearance by Madison Beer. The pair experience a luxury car ride, MLB game, and exclusive dinner. All of these dates culminate with a $500,000 date at an empty Disneyland resort. To begin the night, MrBeast and a small group of his friends headed over to an empty Star Wars Galaxy's Edge to ride Rise of the Resistance with no wait. The group then headed over to Savi's workshop to customize their own lightsabers, an experience which typically costs $219.99 per person plus tax. After building lightsabers, they headed over to Disney California Adventure for a spin on the Pixar Pal-Around. The couple discussed how much more magical and special this $500,000 experience is compared to the $1 Ferris wheel ride. To cap off their time at Disney California Adventure, the group caught a private showing of World of Color Happiness, the nighttime spectacular with its Muppets pre-show for the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. To end the night, everyone headed back over to Disneyland Park for dinner in front of Sleeping Beauty Castle and a special presentation of the Paint the Night Electrical Parade, which has returned for the 70th anniversary celebration. According to the video, this was everyone's favorite date. I want a private showing of Paint the Night. That sounds really cool. I don't have $500,000 though, so I kind of doubt I'll be able to make that happen. It looks like the Disney Store will be releasing a new Walt Disney figurine inspired by the upcoming Walt Disney A Magical Life show at Disneyland, which will feature an audio animatronic of the company's founder. On their webpage for the Disneyland Resort 70th anniversary, Disney Store teases the release of a Walt Disney Nostalgia collection on June 11th with a photo of a Walt Disney figurine sitting at his desk. The collection was already released at Disneyland Resort, but without this figurine. Though unconfirmed that it's based on the Walt Disney animatronic, it looks similar to the concept art for Walt Disney A Magical Life, which will open on July 17th. Walt Disney A Magical Life was originally scheduled to open with the start of the Disneyland 70th celebration on May 16th, 2025, but it was delayed to the actual 70th anniversary date of July 17th. The show will open with a 15-minute documentary, Walt Disney One Man's Dream from Disney's Hollywood Studios, followed by the appearance of Walt. The animatronic will be on a set inspired by his studio office. It will use archival voice recordings to have Walt tell the story of his own life. Walt Disney A Magical Life will temporarily replace Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln in the Main Street Opera House. After its initial run, the two shows will rotate with each other thanks to a rotating stage. Also debuting at the Main Street Opera House on July 17th is a new gallery experience titled Evolution to Dream, featuring never-before-seen art and original furniture from Walt's Disneyland apartment on loan from the Walt Disney Family Museum. Read everything we know about Walt Disney Magical Life right here on our website. As of Wednesday, June 11th, Disney has stated on the Disney Store website that the release time for the now dubbed Disneyland 70th Anniversary Walt Disney Talking Figure has been delayed to July 17th, releasing alongside the debut of the show itself. The construction of the main entrance to Disneyland Park is now complete, and all of the walls surrounding the final section of the gate have been removed. Plus, the tap styles at Disney California Adventure have been updated with a new look. The process of updating all the entrance gates and tap styles at the Disneyland Resort has been going on since last year, though the first set was not fully operational on their arrival. Disney continued to install the new gates over the next several months, and now the final section appears to have been completed. The updated gates add similar technology with photo validation cameras, similar to the entry system Universal Orlando Resort introduced in 2023. Guests will scan their tickets and take their photo to enter the park. Disney recently released a full guide to using the new system, which is broken down into steps. This last entrance section was previously wrapped in construction walls, but now all signs of this refurbishment work have been removed. This section was still blocked off when we visited, though it appeared to be simply because staffing this extra area wasn't necessary at the time, rather than the technology still not working. Apart from the design of the tap styles, the overall appearance of the gate remains unchanged. Like the updated tap styles on the previous sides, the new ones are silver with a semi-transparent gate that opens once guests tap their ticket. There are more gates than there were previously, and all of them are ADA compliant, so guests using ECVs, wheelchairs, and strollers can enter through the same area. The screens will display animations of Mickey Mouse at Disneyland and Oswald the Lucky Rabbit at Disney California Adventure, also a monorail at the Downtown Disney entrance. The Disneyland versions have a tap point with a blue D similar to the one used in the park's simplified logo. Meanwhile, there's been a small update over by Disney California Adventure. The image we're showing on screen, which was taken earlier this year, shows that while the tap styles were updated with the new tech, they did not include the tap point art seen on the Disneyland machines. When these were first installed, the tap points were just plain white. Now, all of the tap points going into Disney California Adventure have been updated with new colorful art. The art depicts the outline of Carthay Circle Restaurant in gold with a bright blue background. In other recent Disneyland entrance news, the resort just announced a new parking structure and pedestrian bridge. The new parking structure will be located on the east side of Disneyland Resort on a portion of what is currently the Manchester cast member parking lot. However, the new bridge will cross over Harbor Boulevard, leading to a completely different arrival experiences for guests reaching the Esplanade. Construction on both the bridge and parking structure is expected to begin in 2026. Work has begun on a facade refurbishment of Trolley Treats in Disney California Adventure along Buena Vista Street. There are construction walls up around the corner of the building. As of Tuesday, no scaffolding or scrim was covering the building, though. There were no visible changes to the facade. This refurbishment is likely general maintenance, though one entrance is blocked. Trolley Treats remains open. It is operating from park open to park close on most days. It's at the end of Buena Vista Street next to Clarabelle's hand-scooped ice cream. The facade features some colorful Disneyland Resort's 70th anniversary bunting. A model of a rock candy mountain is featured in the window as a reference to an old scrapped plan for an attraction at Disneyland from the days of Walt Disney himself. The model also features a trio of 3 circling red car trolley models, which, of course, are now the 3 most functional trolleys in the park. I'm not bitter. Anyway. There are new construction walls up around various walkways of Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa for refurbishment work. A pair of construction walls flanks the sidewalk leading to the hotel's pool gate. The pool itself remains open and operational while the construction takes place nearby. The construction walls cut behind benches and through flower beds. We don't know exactly what refurbishment work is taking place in this area, since most of the work so far has been closer to the actual resort buildings. The other newly installed walls are located outside of Napa Rose, which is currently closed for a luxurious transformation and expected to reopen in the fall. The walls run up on both sides of this breezeway up against the restaurant's windows and on the other side of the walkway by the flower bed. This creates a bit of a tunnel for guests walking down this sidewalk, which leads to the hotel's designated Disney California Adventure entrance. While Napa Rose is closed, Princess Breakfast Adventures is available in the Trillium Room. The Disneyland Resort website states that the transformed Napa Rose will have an expanded exhibition kitchen, enhanced patio seating with new fireplaces for alfresco dining, a refined menu of all new creations and beloved classics, and an extensive collection of over 1,500 wine labels. The rest of the Grand Californian Hotel refurbishment is described as general improvements and a second club-level concierge lounge opening in 2026. Work is mostly confined to daylight hours, so noise won't disrupt sleeping guests. Disney Storyland Boutique, which opened at Downtown Disney District earlier this year, has been decked out with new retro-style decorations for the Disneyland 70th anniversary celebration. The neon Disney Storyland Boutique sign behind the checkout counter is now against a wood-paneled background. Similar wood paneling has been added to the front of the checkout counter and along the top of a wall. The neon sign is surrounded by retro pennants featuring the names of the Disneyland lands. A Disneyland sign is at the bottom, and a Mickey flat is included in the upper corner. Larger pennant signs are hung on the wood paneling across the top of this wall. A Disneyland 70 pennant is in the center of a smaller pennant. The large Storyland letters on the top of the back wall have been redressed. Each letter, with the exception of O and L, which are neon lights, now feature the vintage-style map imagery in different colors. They used to resemble different Disney characters. Each letter represents a different land and features an original character representing that land. A person dressed in a pinstripe vest and voter hat is on the S with a Main Street USA flag. An astronaut is on the T with a Tomorrowland flag. The neon O has a 7 in front of it, turning it into a number 70. R is Frontierland with a character in a red plaid shirt and a large hat. Y represents Fantasyland with a character in a princess outfit. A person in a yellow uniform on the A for Adventureland. The N represents New Orleans Square, the trumpet player in red, and the D has more Fantasyland iconography with an image of Mickey holding a D flag. Wood paneling is also located in the back of 2 cubby displays with neon Mickey and Minnie figures. These originally had neon Baymax and Sully standees. Red trim above the Create Your Own headband shelf is patterned with land pennants, Mickey's face, and the various characters. This column previously had a cherry blossom pattern wrap. It now has a yellow wrap with the Sleeping Beauty Castle silhouette and a large 70. The various land pennants stick out of it, plus a Disneyland 70 pennant with neon lights. Paper lanterns with different retro designs hang near the column. One of them is blue with a 70 castle, one is red with a Disneyland 70th text, and Mickey in a D logo. The third is yellow with a list of lands. A previously blank wall in the back corner is now dressed up with murals. The first features Mickey with the land characters and the retro Disneyland sign. Sunny Anaheim, California is written across the top like it's a postcard. A giant blue D frames a mirror. A castle medallion is placed on the side of the letter. A neon Mickey Disneyland sign is also placed in the upper corner above 2 more 70th anniversary graphics. Check out our original look at the Disney Storyland Boutique from when it first opened in January right here on our website. The Disneyland 70th anniversary officially is on July 17th, but the celebration is in full swing and runs through the summer of 2026. Other decorations adorn the Main Street vehicles, Sleeping Beauty Castle, and the Emporium. Festivities include Wondrous Journeys fireworks, Tapestry of Happiness projection show on It's a Small World, the Paint the Night electrical parade, Key to Disneyland experience, and World of Color Happiness. The temporary Earl of Sandwich restaurant located in downtown Disney District of Disneyland Resort has announced that it will be permanently closing, resulting in the layoff of 167 employees. The Earl of Sandwich has been the subject of several news stories in the past several months, as the restaurant has swapped locations in the downtown Disney District several times. First, Earl of Sandwich was relocated from its original building when it was torn down in 2022. It was then announced that a new permanent location was being built, with the quick service sandwich spot on the ground level and a new table service restaurant on the second floor. Construction on that new building has already begun, but is only comprised of a basic structural elements at this time. In the meantime, Earl of Sandwich is operating both a temporary east side location and a pop-up pod near the Star Wars Trading Post on the west end. The location on the east side is housed in the former spot of La Brea Bakery. Earl of Sandwich took over the building after La Brea abruptly closed in 2023. This move was likely not a part of the original plan. Porto's Bakery, a replacement for La Brea, was announced back in 2022. However, construction on the permanent replacement was slow to begin, so Earl of Sandwich chose to utilize the empty space in the meantime. However, the La Brea space is about to be repurposed in the new home of Porto's Bakery. We reported earlier this year that Disney finally filed the first demolition permits for La Brea Bakery's building, as Porto's will not be using the existing structure. Of course, the demolition of this old building means that Earl of Sandwich must relocate again. The Orange County Register has now confirmed that the demolition is set to begin, and the Earl of Sandwich location, currently using the La Brea Bakery building, is set to permanently close. As part of this closure, all of the 167 employees working in the location will be laid off. This number was pulled from a worker adjustment and retaining notifications letter sent to state employment officials last month. According to the article, the layoffs are set to begin on July 28th and be completed by August 10th. According to the Earl of Sandwich website, there are no current plans to close the pop-up location on the west end. However, the layoff of all employees indicates that there might not be another temporary Earl of Sandwich location added back to the downtown Disney District until the new building on the west side officially opens. The article from the Orange County Register does not have an official closing date listed yet, though the layoffs imply that it will be sometime in late July or early August of 2025. The current Disneyland Resort website calendar has the location operating normal hours through July 16th, which is the last day visible. Former Disneyland Resort Dream Key holders will soon receive an additional payment in the class action lawsuit settled in 2023. Former Dream Key holders are receiving courtesy emails indicating that they are eligible to receive a supplemental payment of $22.85 in the settlement case. They will receive an additional payment notification email by June 4th, 2025, which will contain a link to claim their payment electronically. Guests will have until September 2nd, 2025 to claim their payment. Information will be available at dreamkeysettlement.com, which currently states, supplemental awards to class members who negotiated their initial payments were issued by supplemental awards of $22.85. If you received your initial payment via check, your supplemental award will be a check. If you accepted your initial payment via digital payment through Epic Pay, emails for your digital payment of your supplemental award were emailed via Epic Pay on June 4th, 2025. The lawsuits were filed in 2021, soon after Disneyland Resort launched their Magic Key program as a replacement for annual passes. It alleged false advertising related to the difficulties Dream Key holders faced getting park reservations, despite Disney's no blockout dates promise. Disney ultimately settled, agreeing to pay approximately $67.41 to each former Dream Key members from a settlement fund of $9.5 million. The settlement was finalized in early 2024, and the initial payment was sent out that summer. Disney discontinued the Dream Key, replacing it with the Inspire Key, and no longer lists no blockout dates as a benefit of any Magic Key. A clause in the Magic Key terms and conditions also requires Magic Key holders to waive the right to file a class action lawsuit against Disney. For the absolute latest on all of these stories and those that didn't make it into today's show, head over to WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Be sure to hit select all notifications so you never miss an episode of Disneyland News Today. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all the WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. From the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Arlo saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.